Hey everyone, welcome back to Post Gym Yaps 5. If you're here today, welcome. If you're new, welcome. I don't believe that it's a coincidence or a mistake that I showed up on your recommended. If you're new, take this as a sign to just start whatever it is that you're interested in, whether that's a business, whether that's a fitness journey, a new job, a new career path, a new place you want to move to. Take this as a sign what we're about to talk about here might be applicable to you. For anyone, welcome if you're new. What I'm doing here is just every day after I go to the gym, I just yap about whatever's on my mind, and yeah, we just have a discussion. I come in with either a topic about what I plan on going into or a thought that crossed my mind during the day or just while I was working out, and I make a video on it and we talk about it, and it's unedited. So thank you for being here and bearing with me throughout the unedited things. None of this is going to be cut, but what I want to talk about is continuing on a theme from the first gym yap about just starting. We talked about in the first one about consistency being more important than perfection, and that ties a lot into just starting a project, whatever you're into, and how just taking that first step today can be such a huge launch pad for your future and for what your purpose is for whatever it is that you're starting. I don't know what it is, you guys know. I'm sure if you're watching here right now, you have something in your life that you've kind of thought about and maybe put on the back burner, like you thought, oh, it'd be cool to do this, but you might make excuses like, oh, maybe I don't have enough time, or I don't have enough resources or opportunities. And that's all very true. Like, there are a lot of things that we can benefit from having more resources or having more time or having more money to do things. And a lot of times those barriers are something that we have to consider, and certainly valid things that get in the way. But try to think about if there's something that you're really passionate about. If you pretend that you have whatever you need in the world, you have all the resources, all the time, all the money. Try to think about something in your life, a dream that you have, something that you've always wanted to do, but just never got started with it. Like, you've had that nudge, like, I want to start something, but you're either afraid or you don't have the resources or the time or the opportunity to do it. Like, just think about something, all options aside. If you had everything in your mind, quote unquote, perfect setup, so all the opportunities, all the money, all the time, what is something that you would like to start and begin? And I think that kind of changes a perspective in our brain. It switches a gear where we're thinking now more from a mindset of opportunity rather than lack. And I think that's a lot of times that holds us back with things. And it also connects to what we were talking about yesterday about the fear of rejection. If you didn't watch the video yesterday, I talked about just talking to people and developing connections, because networking can be really important to whatever you're doing in your life, whether that's your career or your fitness journey. Networking can really launch you towards more opportunities or places that you haven't even seen yourself going ever, because you talked to a person that knew someone else that knew this person that had that opportunity, or you just sparked up a conversation, whether that's through a question or a compliment, and you develop a connection or a relationship with that person. And like, we never know where life is going to take us if we just take that risk sometimes. And I don't mean it in like a negative way. Like, what is something that we can do? What is a healthy habit or hobby that we can just take the risk and say, you know, F it, all things aside, like we're doing this thing. And, you know, living in the society that that we're at, fast-paced society, I don't know your background, I don't know your previous situations or your current situations, like, and what you're struggling with, because it is very valid that you might not have time, the resources, opportunities, or money to start something. But just try to think about what's one step that you can do today to bring you towards that dream that you have. Like, say you have a dream to be, I don't know, say you have a dream to run a business one day, and say you're young, and you're say you're fresh out of high school, you know, you don't really have a lot of money, you don't know much about running business, you might not know a lot about finance, but and you might not have anyone on your side willing to support you or willing to invest in you or believe in you. And you got to know that God has a really funny way of working things out. I can think back to a lot of areas of my life where I thought, how is this possible? How am I going to come out of this situation? Or how is this situation that I'm at going to help me for later on in life? And it's crazy how God works things out for our greater purpose, even though we don't realize it in the moment when we're going through it. And a lot of times, back to that example, say you want to start a business, you never know how maybe talking to that person at the gym, tying back into what we were discussing yesterday about just talking to a person, and developing those connections. You never know how having a conversation with that one person at the gym who knows someone that owns a business that's willing to invest in your business or is in the same field as you and interested in learning more, and then you make that connection, and you never know how that's going to take you on your path to freedom. At least, I guess that's a good word to use. I don't know, I'm kind of just rambling at this point. But in the realm of fitness, if any of you guys are in this, because this is a gym yap, we're talking after the gym, I'll use an example from my life about just getting started, and also how a lot of times what seems bad in the moment is actually working out for our greater good. So I'll use a story from how I actually got into fitness. If any of you are new, I never told this story on this YouTube. I've made a lot of videos before that I just haven't posted. I'm gonna start posting consistently, so here's the story for any of you, the shortened version story of how I got into the gym. So I used to be a really avid runner. I loved running. I did track, cross country, and it was to the point where I was obsessed with it, almost in an unhealthy way. So I like always had to run. Like, if I missed running, it would just like eat me inside. Not to a point where we were talking in previous videos about being disciplined, where like if you miss a day, it kind of irks you a little bit and you're like, oh wow, I feel like I kind of fell off my path. But it was to the point, like, if I missed a run, like it was just like really detrimental on my mental health. But I saw it as an unhealthy obsession to it. And I was at a point where I was doing a lot of long runs, and my body's like genetically meant for like fast twitch muscle fibers, which is like kind of the shorter sprinting and like a lot of the lifting that I do now. But I was doing a lot of endurance, So running a lot of miles. I was doing half marathons, long runs, and I was doing many miles a week. I was doing like 50 some odd miles a week. I don't know, something crazy like that. If you guys are a runner, that might not even seem like a lot to you, but it was for me and my body at the time, and the way I was just refueling my body, it wasn't healthy. And I had a lot of signs from God telling me, just slow down. You should just take it easy. You should really just kind of to check myself on where I was putting my priorities. He's like, are you idolizing running? Are you putting that on a pedestal before God and before my own health, spiritual, mental, physical health? And it took it to a point where I took it so far that I ended up injuring my foot. So when I went to the doctor's like, yep, you're done for running, like all this. He's like, yeah, you can't run. And I was devastated. When I told you guys, it wasn't until that moment in my life that I realized how much of my identity I put in running over God, over myself, over the relationships in my life. And God kind of checked me there, and it was a realization for me. And in the moment, it was very difficult for me to understand and difficult for me to accept. In hindsight, in retrospect, I think that injury was probably the biggest blessing in disguise, because I never would have found powerlifting. I never would have found where I'm currently working at right now. I never would have had the relationships and the friendships that I have right now if it wasn't for that experience for me. And during the storm, it seemed so difficult. Like, I was upset. I'm asking, like, why do I have to go through this? I was missing out on meets, I was supposed to run a marathon. I was missing out on that. And I said, why is this happening? And now I know why it's happening, because I had ended up healing from slowly healing from the foot, and I couldn't run. My doctor didn't clear me to run, so I decided to get into lifting. I was allowed to lift, so I didn't know anything about the gym. Before getting into the gym, I was terrified, and I had the mindset, like, I don't want to lift because I didn't want to look big. For some reason, I didn't want to be strong. I just wanted to be like super skinny, just runner. That was like what I wanted, even though at the time that was just super unhealthy. It was an unhealthy mindset to have. And then I started going to the gym and just lifting weights, and I just started because my mindset at the time is, well, I have to do something to keep active, so I might as well go to the gym. And now that I look back on it, I now am in love with the gym, and it's a healthy habit that I have. Now I know, like, my limitations, and I know where I put my priorities. And even still, sometimes I'll admit, like, I'll check myself and I'll be like, did you hear that? I don't know, it sounded like a truck or something. But anyway, I'm like, am I idolizing this right now? Am I putting it on a pedestal? And then I have to backtrack and be like, no, my identity is in God. My identity is in not what I can produce, but it's in God ultimately at the end of the day. And this is kind of like a tangent of where I'm going off on, but I just want to say how grateful I am for that experience that at the moment I thought was bad and just detrimental and negative, and God used it to turn it into something that is better for my greater purpose. Like, if I never started getting into lifting, I never would have been working at where I'm at now. I never would have made the friendships and the connections that I have now, or had the knowledge that I have now. And it needed to happen in order for me to be where I'm at now. And that ties into all that I'm saying at the beginning of this video, the whole overarching purpose about just getting started. Like, you never know where it can lead if you just start. And a lot of things in life, like I'll make excuses for a lot of things in life. Like, if I want to start something, I'm a very busy person. I'll just be like, oh, I just don't have the time to do it. Like YouTube, I'm telling you guys, for a whole year, I made this YouTube channel a year ago, and I was starting with the pull-up challenge. If you look at past videos, you'll see that I started 30 pull-up challenge every day for 30 days. And I did complete that challenge. I recorded it. I have all the content on my phone, but I never posted the videos. And I just kept making excuses. Oh, I don't have time for this YouTube thing. I don't have time. But like, something in my soul, something in my spirit was just nudging me, like, just start making YouTube videos. And I just kept ignoring the nudge. And now, like, I don't know, something just reignited to just start. And that's what I want to encourage you guys to just start. And like, the barriers that are in your way, like for me, my barriers, I'll use YouTube as an example just because I'm getting back into it, but it's something that I really enjoy and something that I want to continue. But my barriers to start, I'm like, I don't know how to edit videos. I don't know how to I don't have time. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Like, I don't know what content I'm going to think about. I like work a full-time job, plus I have things that I do on the side. Like, how am I gonna have time to start this? And also just fears about being in front of a camera, because contrary to the people that know me, I'm actually a very introverted person, and that's what I think these videos are helping me out with. I say it all the time, but yeah, and I'm like, I don't have the equipment to record. So all those things aside, I'm like, am I just making excuses in my head to get started? Like, I might not have the resources, I might not have like $1 million camera to record, but I can use my phone. My phone records. I might not have time or knowledge on how to edit a video, but I can make these long form, just talking videos, just the thoughts that I have on my head, just getting them down on video. I might be a little anxious or nervous to post a video, but you know what? I'm just going to speak from my heart and talk about what's on my mind and what I feel God places on my heart to talk about. And if someone out there, just one person, can relate or just get something out of this video, that I feel like I'll feel like I've accomplished something. And if you don't like the video, if you hate it, then so what? Leave. Like, it's a whole matter of just starting and finding ways, like little small things that we can do towards our greater dream that you have. So if you're interested, like if your dream is to start a business, maybe even you might not have the money or the resources, maybe just doing some research on, how to get into business. I don't really know much about business myself, but I'm just using this as an example. Like, okay, what steps can I do now? Or just researching, maybe trying to edify yourself more and become financially literate. Or maybe that's talking to someone at the gym that might have their own business and just picking their brain. And you just never know how those small little steps and those things, those seeds that you sow in private, those things that you just feel like you're just putting in this work and just constantly grinding, and you feel like you're not seeing any results, like that is where the most growth happens. And I know it can be tough when you're not seeing physical, tangible results, but you just got to trust that the effort that you're putting into now is making a difference. Like, if you're still watching this, like whatever you're doing, whatever that dream is, those small little things, those small little steps, those late nights that you work, those times that you stay extra working on that project, those extra minutes that you spend at the gym, or the days that you go in the gym when you don't want to, or you going to bed earlier, like those small steps, those small tiny changes that you make in your daily life are making your future self just smile at you right now. Like, just envision your future self, like 10 years, 20 years down the line, an older version of you, just looking at yourself and just smiling. Like, imagine how great that is. Like, imagine how proud you want to make future you. And I know this is starting to sound cheesy, but it's true. And like, yeah, just think about small things that you can incorporate into your daily life, that you have the just desire. If you really have a desire or a dream, go after it. What's stopping you? Like, take this as your sign, take this as your encouragement to just start. And obviously, I mean, I don't know where you're at, but you just got to listen to your heart too. Like, and if you're a spiritual person, pray about it. Like, really consider God, like involve God in the process. God wants you to have a relationship with him. He wants to mold you into a better person. He wants to heal you from those obstacles and those struggles in your life, and you just gotta accept him into your heart. He wants to do good things through you. He wants to use you, and you have a purpose. If you're watching this, I didn't expect this video to get so deep, but you do. And if you're still here watching, just know that you have a greater purpose and that God loves you. And I'm grateful for you being here and watching. And yeah, this is kind of a sentimental yap, but I'm grateful that you watched this far, if you did. And if you're new, welcome. We're gonna be posting more like long content about just thoughts in my head, and also fitness things if the gym interests you or fitness interests you, or if you're interested in getting into fitness and never done it before, or you've been in fitness for decades and just want to know more, or be in a community where we talk about those things. Welcome. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.